Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Angelique Lizardi. Last week, the Supreme Court kicked off its new term, hearing a case called Sackett versus Environmental Protection Agency. The suit challenges the definition at the heart of the 1972 Clean Water Act, which is also considered a water of the United States, or WOTUS. Now, the Clean Water Act prevents the discharge of hazardous substances into the nation's navigable waters. News 4 Tucson Shelly Jackson shares what this means for the desert Southwest.
Many of Arizona's waterways are ephemeral. They're dry, flowing only after a period of rainfall. Some of them are also WOTUS, waters of the United States. And with the Supreme Court likely to define that term, many are worried it could gut the Clean Water Act, putting thousands of Arizona's waterways at risk.
Right. They are trying to weaken the Clean Water Act and make it so it applies to fewer waters in many places, including here in Arizona.
Conservationists fear the Supreme Court's decision could yank Arizona waterways from federal protection, opening the door to developers and the mining industry who have long argued the definition of WOTUS is too broad.
They would not have to get permits for certain activities. They wouldn't have to mitigate the harm from certain activities. There wouldn't be a public interest determination relative to what they're proposing.
WOTUS designation is crucial in protecting the nation's waterways from dumping.
If you can regulate what is dumped and what flows into those major watercourses, that provides a cleaner water system at the end of the day.
And with Arizona in a 2-decade-long drought, protecting our water supply is critical.
Any designated waterway that we can't use any administrative guidance on compromises our ability to protect the basin.
The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, ADEQ, says Arizona has strong protections already in place.
No matter what happens at that federal level, we now have a state program that will protect our important waters, regardless of the decisions being made in Washington, D.C.
But conservation groups say that program is inadequate.
They do not intend to protect most of our desert washes and isolated springs and arroyos.
Now, Pima County says it doesn't expect to change the way it manages its waterways, regardless of the Supreme Court decision. From the west side, Shelly Jackson, News 4, Tucson.